Okay, everyone, just pretend like last week didn't happen. Because thankfully for me, I only took two plays, and AG went and picked three because we both went over. Holy crap!
It's all right though. These weeks happen.
It was a rough weekend.
Yeah. No, these weeks happen though. I mean, that's the beauty of sports betting. We got another week ahead of us. We got another NFL week. I'm 9-9. I finally dipped down into the negatives and the units on this
There you go.
particular show that we're doing with the early lines picks, but we're gonna get this money back this week right now.
Yeah,
Chad, what are you rocking with on your first pick? You got the Steelers plus 1.5 at the
I
Falcons
like.
over under 42.5. What you thinking here?
Well, so we what we didn't talk about was that this show is always done before I get a chance to actually go through and do the dog catcher modeling on the upcoming games. So I'm always just looking at this and I'm glancing at it and saying, okay, this is what I'm feeling like might happen. And then I go look at the model and it's like, idiot, what were you thinking on Monday? What were you thinking on Tuesday? So I just want to say that the dog catcher had the Steelers beating the Colts in Indianapolis on Monday Night Football. And that's why I think the Steelers, once again, are an undervalued play. I haven't even done the dog catcher model yet, but I have a feeling that's what's going to end up being the pick. And I'm going to just jump ahead of the gun and go for it and trust that the Steelers are going to beat the Falcons in this one, even though they're playing another road game playing at the Falcons. I like the way that the Steelers played on Monday night with Pickett getting it done and the defense getting it done. And I'm a little concerned with Najee Harris being out. We'll see how his status shapes up for the rest of the week. But I just like the way that the Steelers have been playing, and really, if you look at it, like they're building on this momentum and consistency that they've built over the last few weeks.
Yeah, I agree with you. I was on the Steelers tonight as well. We're recording this right after the Monday night game. You
Mm-hmm.
guys will see it in the morning, but I think Chad's a little bit drunk on the Steelers win. They looked good.
I'm
Um,
drinking water, by the
this
way. This
this
is
might be a yeah. Now this might be a good play. I could see it going either way. I mean, there's a reason it's kind of pick on the books anyway. So
mhm.
yeah, no, we'll see how that goes. I think Najee Harris status is definitely important, but even without him, they got two other running backs that have been serviceable, doing very
Mhm.
well. The Falcons, all they do is run the ball. The Steelers are a really good run defense. Jonathan Taylor had his way just a little bit, but they were able to contain him enough on the biggest plays when they really needed to get stops. Obviously, they came out with the win. So, yeah, I don't hate that play. I think it could definitely hit. Let's get into this next one. We got the Commanders at the Giants. The Giants are 1.5-point dogs at home here with a better record. The Commanders are hot, probably due for some regression. Now, I got the money line listed in here too because this is something we are both on. I'm going to
Mhm.
take them outright on the money line plus 108. I think they're getting a couple guys back this week, or they should be at least. There's a bunch of guys on the injury report listed as day to day, should be playing by Sunday.
Mhm.
The Commanders are really hot. They've been playing really well. They got the job done for us for our teaser and what we needed from them against the Falcons. Speaking of the Falcons, but
Don't talk about that teaser, man. You trying to burn my eyeballs out.
but
Josh Jacobs, jeez.
and I got some Josh Jacobs play coming up. But I like the Giants to win this one outright at home. I think the Commanders are due for some regression. They can't just
Mhm.
keep winning every single game with Taylor Heineke. They've rallied
Well,
around him and they're
it's
playing
been
well, but
some yeah, it's
yep,
been some weird kind of like they've pull it out of their rear
they've
end
needed
kind
some
of stuff. But
heroics. Yeah,
yeah, and and the other thing is too, the Giants have kind of been the opposite,
yep.
right? Like the Giants have had like some weird stuff go wrong for them. So yeah, I'm riding with the Giants on this one. I gotta say I'm feeling a little bit like I'm gonna get snuck by this. I'm hoping that the Giants win by three or more. I'm sorry, lose by. I'm hoping the Giants lose by one, because then I will win this bet and you will not. Because otherwise, if the Giants win, I'm screwed. Because even though I win this pick, you still gain on me in units because I only gain a unit and you gain that other
Hey
eight
man,
hundredths.
you gotta take risks, man. Scared money don't make no money. Giants
Oh,
money
listen
line,
to this
baby.
guy. Listen to this guy.
I'm just
Okay.
saying.
We can start we can start doing parlays on here now.
This one's a lock. That's all I'm
Okay.
saying. in my opinion. You got anything else for this? Why
No,
you're
I mean,
defending the Giants? Why are you not taking them? Why are you taking them at the 1 point? You got 2 1-point plays here where you could be taking some money lines and trying to gain
yeah,
some
I
ground.
could,
Are
I
you
could
not
be.
confident in either of these ones? Do you want to go take the Steelers one, or
Well, I
I'm
thought
just
I
throwing
had.
out ideas here for you? You know what I
So,
mean?
so I thought I had the Giants plus 2.5, but you went ahead and hooked me for a point. So it's all good.
Oh yeah,
We'll
you
go
did
with
say it. Well, you
yeah,
had 2.5 somewhere else, right? I wrote
yeah.
1.5. My bad.
I
You had
know
two and a half
it's all
somewhere.
good.
You want to get 2.5?
You'll see what he's doing here, right? You see how this is why.
Hold on,
I'll
hold
put
on.
the standings back up there. Put the standings back up there. I
I
want you
wasn't
to
trying
see
to show
how
those
this
off right
man
now.
has negotiated this record is because he's cheating. You see what he's doing? He just got caught on air cheating. This is what he's been
Everything
doing
has been
every
filmed
week.
this entire time. You can go back through the weeks.
Listen,
The
let me
the
get my
early pick
excuses
show.
off. Let me get my excuses off. Don't fucking
I hear you. Speaking of getting stuff off, I'm gonna get this record off because we don't need to
yeah.
be showing the people that one right now.
Right.
Look, we
It's
had a
ugly.
couple bad beats this past week. It was horrible. And then a couple, I think like 2 or 3 weeks ago, also we had a few bad beats where those records could be significantly different if a couple balls go our way.
Oh, absolutely.
But
But that's why
there
we
you
do
go. I
this stuff.
fixed it
Like
for
it can
you.
go either way.
You get 2 points
I
now. I
appreciate
locked
it.
you in for 2 points now, Chad.
So
And
now
I'm taking the
I
money
got a little
line
room to play
plus
with.
108. Yep.
Yeah.
A little
All
bit
right.
more room.
Yeah.
And then my last pick for the day, I got the Chargers minus 1.5 at the Raiders. Actually, I messed up there. I am not on the Chargers. I don't got the Chargers, but we got the Chargers at the Raiders as 1.5 point favorites. The over under set at 50.5. I am taking the over right now, locking it in at 50.5. I mean, there's not much to say. Both teams are electric on
I think it
offense,
could
and both
move.
teams can't stop anybody.
This
And
this may be one of those ones where you've talked about this before. Get it now. I don't know. You may be looking at 53.5 by the end of the week.
yeah, I mean, this is just, and it could go the other way too.
Mhm.
But I do agree. I mean, it's a high total, but it seems kind of low with how these defenses have been playing. We
Mhm.
saw how bad the Cardinals offense looked. Obviously, they got Kyler Murray back, but they looked good against this Chargers defense, like really good, really efficient. James Conner running all over him. Just imagine what Josh Jacobs is going to be able to do. And on the flip side, the Raiders haven't been able to stop anybody either, except for the Broncos and the Texans. So I mean,
Right.
I like Justin Herbert to light it up a little bit here too, and
Mhm.
Derek Carr, Devontae Adams, Josh Jacobs, them to have a field day. Austin Eckler, Keenan Allen, things like that. The Chargers are getting healthier and healthier.
Yeah.
And even though they're getting a little healthier on defense, they're still not like a complete piece. And the Raiders' offense is just powerful. So I definitely see this game going over. I could see another like 30, 31, 28 type of score for this game. So
Mhm. Well, and in addition to like the defense not being completely healthy on either side for the Raiders or the Chargers, you also have the fact that these offenses are starting to kind of find a rhythm and start to hit on more than a couple of cylinders. So now you know what you're up against, and I think both of these teams probably have seen what they've been putting up points wise in the last few weeks. And so you can't come out there and play this thing conservative because you're just going to end up costing yourself possessions. And what you want to do is try to keep the opponent off the field, but they also have the potential to score really quickly. So you could have your defense right back out on the field again.
yeah, and to your point about being aggressive, Staley for the Chargers has not shied away from being aggressive
Mhm.
and going for it on fourth downs and things like that. So yeah, you could definitely see that. I mean, it is a divisional game. So there's always the the concern of a divisional game being played really, really, really tight.
Mhm.
But with these two fire-powered offenses and the defense is not playing too well, I kind of see that going the opposite way of how
Yeah.
division games sometimes can go and how
Mhm.
we might think of them. I think this still might be a very tight game, but just
Mhm.
with some explosive plays and a lot of high scoring. So yeah, I got that. Anything else you want to add to this week, Chad, or any of the games that we talked about?
No, just I don't know. Y'all keep AG on his P's and Q's because he's trying to cheat. And that's all I gotta say. It's the only reason
listen,
why I'm behind in this
listen.
contest.
I don't even
He's
need to
cheating.
cheat. Look at this. I don't need to cheat.
Stop. Take it off the screen, man. Don't nobody want to see that, especially not me.
Hey, listen, we've been doing a lot better with our other shows and
Facts.
all of our other picks, the game specials and things like that. We're picking these early in the week. Sometimes by Sunday morning, when we're on our Sunday morning show, we're talking about some of these games that we picked here, and we're kind of
We're
like even
flipping.
leaning
Yeah.
away.
Hmm.
We usually stick with the pick so that we're not, giving lopsided advice. We
Right.
won't flip it, but we give our reasoning about why,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes injuries happen, sometimes new developments, things like that,
Mm-hmm.
quarterbacks getting benched, stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that. So,
Well, like I liked Chicago, last week if Fields was going to play,
right.
and I didn't like him if he wasn't going to play, and that was one of those ones. So there are some of those things to consider, but yeah, it is our record, and I think it's a testimony to like why we do this show is to give you kind of that window into like, look, this all makes sense right now, and I think there's some of this stuff where you look at some of the calls that we've made, and we've been dead on with like this line's going to move, and sure enough, it'll move 3 or 4 points between now and Thursday, and so if you don't get in on it, when
Yeah.
we're giving you those looks, and that's part of
Right.
why we do this is to find those ones that like something looks off early in the week, and we want to identify that and get out ahead of it because sometimes that will move, and so sometimes that's why come Sunday morning we're looking at this and we're like, yeah, man, like that. See how that
Yeah.
line moved? Like,
That,
I don't like
yeah.
it anymore.
Because sometimes we get a bad read on it where
Yeah,
maybe we should have waited. It works
right.
both ways.
Exactly.
Some weeks you'll get the good side of it. Some weeks you'll
Mm-hmm.
get the bad. Like anything in life, you got the good and the bad. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but like I was saying, we're a lot better with the other pick shows when we
Yeah.
actually are able to dive deep. Like me and Chad, we really don't look too deep into these tonight while we're recording this. We just go for what we think. Like in this case, like we're like, oh, the Giants are dogs. Like they're in a super, super get right spot. They need to
Mm-hmm.
win this game. It's a must win. They're getting players
Mm-hmm.
back. This is a good spot to take the Giants. Now, things might change throughout the week. We'll see. But that's why you got to tune in for the Sunday morning show. You got to hit that
Word.
subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that comment. If you if you agree or disagree with any of our picks, let us know. And other than that, we'll see you guys Thursday night for the Thursday night game. We got the Patriots and Bills, I think, right?
Yeah, Patriots and Bills.
That'll
And
be a
then,
fun one to talk
yeah,
about, I think.
yeah,
So
yeah. That's a big division game, and like
yep.
the Patriots are not a joke. Like the Bills better come to play because as we've seen, they've had their issues with some teams that they should beat easily. So
Yeah.
And they're playing this one in Foxborough. So
And the Bills are they're right in the middle of a divisional hunt. You know what I mean? The
mm-hmm.
Dolphins aren't letting them run away. The Patriots and Jets, they got a chance now that the
Mm-hmm.
Jets are starting Mike White.
Right.
And the Patriots, their defense seems to have figured it out just a little bit. The Vikings torched them just a little bit, but we'll see how they fare this Thursday night. We'll have our best bets Thursday afternoon, as we do every week.
Yes, indeed.
Best of luck betting this week, everybody.
Appreciate y'all. Peace.